We have just witnessed one of the most dramatic winter transfer windows in recent years. Top loan deals, big transfer fees, failed moves, and two English teams that shocked the world. But today, we're going to take a closer look at some of the transfers that may have gone under the radar. First, we got to start with Man City's biggest signing of the winter. Omar Mamouche. His move to the Etihad marked a significant moment in the January 2025 window. The Egyptian striker left Eintracht Frankfurt after an electrifying first half of the season, in which he scored 20 goals and laid on 13 assists in all competitions. Mamouche joined City for an initial fee of around £59 million plus bonuses, signing a 4.5-year deal until June 2029. The move underlines his rapid rise from Wolfsburg and loan spells at St. Pauli and Stuttgart to become one of Europe's most sought-after attackers. At Manchester City, Mamouche will bring versatility as he can operate across the front three. His speed, awareness and finishing ability will add to Pep Guardiola's attacking options. And as we've seen in our dedicated video on the Egyptian, Mamouche is expected to fill a similar role to that of Julian Alvarez. Indeed, we've already seen evidence of that in his second game for Man City, in the tough 5-1 defeat to Arsenal. As we said at the start, there were two English clubs that stood out from the rest this winter. One was Man City, who spent around €200 million on 4 players. The other, against all expectations, was Aston Villa. The Birmingham side qualified for the knockout stages of the Champions League, and in order to compete with the big guns, they had a transfer window to remember. However, to be able to afford all the names they attracted, they had to spend big. Thus, Aston Villa sold Jean Duran to Al Nassr for around €77 million, making him the second biggest departure in the club's history, after Jack Grealish. The Colombian has impressed since the start of the season, scoring 12 goals in 29 appearances, starting only 4 games in the Premier League. Many questioned his decision to put money before development, but it's fair to say that his move to Saudi Arabia is by no means the end of his European career. Yet, the money received from Al Nassr enabled Aston Villa to make 2 signings in the final hours of the January transfer window. And while most of you are aware of Marcus Rashford's drama at Man United and his decision to play for the Villains until the end of the season, let's talk about a player who flew under the radar, Marco Asensio. The 29-year-old Spanish midfielder, who won 3 Champions League titles with Real Madrid, had struggled to find consistent game time at PSG after joining in 2023. Despite helping PSG win the League One title last season, Asensio fell out of favour under Luis Enrique and has played just 18 minutes since November. Aston Villa have secured his services on loan until the end of the season, giving him the chance to rediscover his form and make a significant contribution to their campaign. With the likes of Donyell Malen and the aforementioned Rashford already bolstering Villa's attacking options, Asensio will add depth and creativity as an attacking midfielder or winger. Another transfer that was completed in the final moments of the transfer window was that of Sergio Ramos to Mexican side Monterrey. The Spanish legend had been without a club since the end of last season, when his contract with Sevilla expired. He was desperate to sign for one of Europe's top 5 clubs in the summer, but failed to do so and was forced to start the season as a free agent. As you may have seen on social media, Ramos has been posting videos of himself training hard in the gym or on the pitch, pushing himself in a certain direction. There were some rumours of him returning to Real Madrid, especially with their injury problems at the back. A deal didn't materialise, and in the end, Ramos moved overseas, signing the Mexican side Monterrey. Interestingly, Ramos will be playing under the guidance of another legendary centre-back, Martin Demichelis. In addition, Ramos chose to wear the number 93 in honour of his iconic equaliser against Atletico Madrid in the 2014 Champions League final, putting a smile on every Real Madrid fan's face. And back to the blockbuster transfer in Europe, Ivica Kvaratskhelia from Napoli to PSG. The Georgian, nicknamed Kvaradona for his exceptional Diego Maradona-esque skills, has joined PSG in a deal reportedly worth €70 million, with potential add-ons. The move comes after Kvaratskhelia asked to leave Napoli midway through the season due to failed contract negotiations. 2 seasons ago, when Napoli won the Serie A title with Kvaradona, the winger was one of the most sought-after players in the world. He scored 14 goals and laid on 14 assists in his first season in Italy, but has slowed down in the last 20 months and didn't even reach 20 goal contributions in 2023-24. The Georgian has signed a contract with PSG until June 2029, underlining his commitment to becoming a key figure at the Parc des Princes. By the way, he already scored his first goal for the Parisians against AS Monaco. Now we move on to one of the best deals of the winter transfer window, with Randal Kolo Muani joining Juventus on loan from PSG. Since the start of the season, the Frenchman, best known for his miss in the 2022 World Cup final against Argentina, has struggled for game time in Paris, making just 2 Ligue 1 appearances, despite being a regular for his country. Upon arriving in the French capital for little under €100 million, he was expected to take his career to the next level, but it appears that is happening now, following his move from Paris to Turin, where he will wear Juventus colours until the end of 2024-25. The Bianconeri have been pretty poor in attack this season, with Dusan Vlahovic up front, and were eager to upgrade. Well, it's safe to say that they've done just that with Kolo Muani, who has now scored 5 goals in 3 games for the old lady, following his brace against Como. He has a reputation for bouncing around from club to club without settling for long. This will be his 4th club in the last 3 years. Between 2020 and 2022, Morata was at Juventus, then was part of Atletico Madrid for the next 2 seasons. After that, he moved to AC Milan last summer, where he scored just 6 goals in half a season, and decided to try his luck in a country where he'd never played before. It remains to be seen whether he can make an impact in Turkey, but the chances of him winning another league title are high, with Galatasaray leading the Turkish Super League table by 6 points. Interestingly, the European champion with Spain will join a star-studded Galatasaray squad full of familiar faces: Victor Osimhen, Dries Mertens, Mauro Icardi, Davinson Sanchez, and legendary goalkeeper Fernando Muslera. Milan bosses have certainly made the correct calculation in getting rid of a player with no future at the club, and bringing in a man who can mark an era at San Siro if he gets his head right. Joao Felix, once hailed as a prodigy destined to rule the footballing world, has struggled to find his A-game, but with the right environment and mindset, he could be in a position to rediscover his Benfica form. AC Milan have agreed to pay a €7 million loan fee with no obligations to buy him permanently. The move offers Felix the chance to rediscover his form in Serie A, where he can benefit from a more tactical and technical environment that suits his style of play. His debut was impressive, scoring off the bench against Roma, suggesting that he could be critical in improving Milan's attacking options under Sergio Conceição. Another important thing that has gone under the radar is Milan director Jeffrey Moncada's statement after his debut goal. "We've an excellent relationship with Chelsea, and even without a buy option clause, there's a chance to make it happen in June." The Manchester United man did everything he could to mess up at Old Trafford, and combined with a lack of confidence from both Erik ten Hag and Ruben Amorim, it was inevitable that he would leave sooner rather than later. The Brazilian therefore moved to Real Betis for the remainder of the season in search of regular game time and the chance to rediscover his form under Manuel Pellegrini. Surprisingly, there were glimpses of the old Anthony. He was instrumental in Betis' first goal against Athletic Club, unleashing a trademark shot into the far corner. The goalkeeper made a save, but the ball deflected onto the foot of Isco, who tapped it into the empty net. Anthony was also named man of the match after a memorable La Liga debut. And what a better way to end, if not with one of the most emotional moves of the last decade, or perhaps even the 21st century. It feels like I'm going back in time, when Neymar's words after the news of his return to his boyhood club, Santos, was confirmed. Yeah, this move definitely gives us hope that romantic football still exists, hidden behind the solid walls of the business side of the game. Neymar has been extremely vulnerable to injury in recent seasons, but things got completely out of control with his body after his move to Al Hilal. In October 2023, he tore tore his ACL and was sidelined for over a year. Upon his return, however, he suffered a number of minor injuries that rendered his time at Al Hilal completely pointless. Overall, the Prince, who never became a king, played just 7 games for Al Hilal in a season and a half. In January, club and player agreed to terminate Neymar's contract with the Saudi side, paving the way for a dream return to the club where it all began for the Brazilian superstar. Of course, it's clear that Neymar doesn't have much time left in his career, but this homecoming could have a positive effect on his form ahead of the 2026 World Cup, which is likely to be the last in his illustrious professional path. Now, before we finish, let's end the video with 2 intriguing questions. Firstly, who do you think is the transfer of January 2025? And also, where do you see Neymar going after the end of this season? Will he reunite with Messi and Suarez in Inter Miami? Or maybe a sensational comeback in Europe? Drop your suggestions in the comments below. Also, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons for more similar content. If you want to watch something just like this, check out our upload on a transfer that could blow the football in Europe into the summer. Trent Alexander-Arnold to Real Madrid. Catch you there.